Good morning, everyone. This Wellness Wednesday is going to be more about our mental health and well-being. And this is kind of a thought and message that's been on my mind for a while. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. You hear a lot about people wanting more balance in their life, more balance in their schedule, their priorities, finding balance with work and home. It's just a phrase that gets thrown out a lot. And I want to encourage us to maybe shift that a bit. I don't think there's really anything as such as balance. I don't think that actually exists. And I think that we would be much more productive and feel happier if maybe we thought of things in seasons and rhythms. And I just know that there's usually seasons of rest and then seasons of productivity and fruitfulness that come out of that. And I mean, those rhythms are ancient. Back to farming, back to the seasons of nature and when you hunted and when you stored things up. And those things were supposed to be built into our lives. Even if you want to consider the Sabbath, which a lot of people feel like is a rule and was all about shoulds and should nots and do's and don'ts. And I think it was supposed to be a gift to us to build in rest into our week. And our lives are so scheduled now that it can be really challenging to create those rhythms, but it's absolutely possible and it's healthy. And it sort of fits along with some posts I made on Facebook this week about letting our no be no and being able to just say no to someone. Thank you for including me, but I'm not going to be able to accept that right now. Without the, I've got this and I've got this and I've got this and all your reasons why you're so busy that you can't say yes. And the excuses that we try to come up with because it seems like it's only acceptable to say no, and it's only acceptable to have a life that is jam-packed and busy. And what would we think of each other if it was just our sacred me time? You know, people are talking more and more about self-care, but even that can just be busyness if it isn't planned out and if it isn't what we personally need. As an extrovert, my me time could be hosting a gathering of friends. And for somebody else, that could be a draining, exhaustive item on their to-do list that they might enjoy, but it's a withdrawal from their energy levels and from their personal well-being to some degree. So it's important to factor in how you're wired and what you need and the demands on your life. Someone who's working full-time will have different demands than my schedule that even as a business owner is still more part-time. Or someone who doesn't have kids will have different demands than someone who does. And 2 kids is different than 5. And you get my point. So maybe just consider the idea of, rather than seeking balance, to look for those rhythms and see what you need. And there can be daily rhythms and weekly rhythms and monthly rhythms and annual rhythms. And they're all extremely important, and it's not as overwhelming as it sounds. And we'll just offer a more balanced way of looking at our schedules, ironically. So just my thoughts for today. Something to consider, that rather than trying to balance everything, which for me anyway turns into a juggling act, and it's ridiculous, and inevitably things come crashing down. And so I'm just looking more at rhythms and when I'm ready to be productive and fruitful and maybe a bit more active, and when I need a season of rest and to step away and recharge, and looking at what that looks like. Would love to talk more with any of you about this. Please comment or send us an email. We'll be sending this out as a Wellness Wednesday email and also posting on Facebook. So would love to talk more about what rhythms are working for you. Take care and have a great week.